Yeah, I have started the recording here. So we are discussing about the installation we have done. Then what next, right? So we have yesterday we have discussed about the how to add the SAP systems, how to add the SAP systems into SAP logon pad or SAP GUI. This is what we discussed. Then how to log in, how to log into the our SAP systems, how to log in, how to add and how to log into the SAP systems. So this is what we discussed yesterday, and also we discussed about the work process and everything, what entries we need to configure in the our SAP logon pad. So in all our desktops, you see SAP logon pad, right? In your SAP logon pad, you need to configure the entries here. If you open the MMC, so to know the what details we have to configure it here, to know the what details we have to configure it here. So if you are having doubts, so why we have to give only 00? Can we give 01 itself? Yes, we can do 2 or 3, or we can also configure like multiple ways we can log into the SAP system, right? So if you see our SAP diagram, so this is the presentation layer where you all people log in and open the SAP GUI. That is called the presentation layer. And to presentation layer, we have deployed we have built the new house, right? New house means new SAP system we have built. So new house we build means one family will stay. That is called the work process will stay. So here two, two instances will be created after the installation. So one is the ASCS instance. Second one is the application server instance. In the seven family members means, so they will not stay only one room, right? They have the one more bedroom, master bedroom, and some other bedrooms also, right? So we have in the master bedroom, suppose like this is a master bedroom. Here we have the message server, NQ server will live in this bedroom, and the remaining work process will stay here in the bedroom. Okay, DV, B, G, S. So this will stay here in the this 5 work process will stay here, right? So here fine. You have the SAP logon pad here, SAP GUI here, right? So here to connect from SAP GUI, what we configured, we are directly configuring the application server name we are giving here and their instance number. Application server instance number is 00 and ASCS instance number is the 01. Two instances are creating, right? You are directly connecting to the GUI through application server instance number, and you are using the SAP screen and everything. This is the way, right? Also, it's not recommended to directly connecting to the application server if you have multiple application servers. So currently you have the one application server. If you directly connect to the application server, there is no hurry. And also we can also connect through, so we can also GUI entry, we can directly map to the ASCS instance. Again, this ASCS will route the request to the here only. This is the two-way mechanism. You have to connect to the here, but this message server ASCS instance, you have to connect it. This ASCS instance again will route the request to the here only it will route the request. So basically if you directly connect also not a problem if you have the one application server, or if you directly connect to the ASCS instance, then because for SID one ASCS instance, multiple application servers we can install it. So like that we have the DV, EB and this GCS, so we can install the one more application server also, we can install it on the different host or same host. One more application server also we can install it. One more application server also, n number of application servers we can add it to the one SID. So in this case, if you directly connect to this application server, if this is down, then remaining 3 are up, you cannot log in. But if you are connecting to the multiple application server, then you have to use the SAP ASCS instance. Then this message server will route the request to the message server will route the Okay, sorry. So
Hello.
here, yeah. I just someone asked for the meeting link, so I shared them. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so here GUI, if you are the one up when you install the first time, you will get the one ASCS instance and one more application server instance you will get. This is we know, right? So suppose after some days, after some years, only one application server will add the load, but your business users are more, every day it is increasing. Then you can add the one more application server, you can add it. Then same, like you will get the dialogs, update, background, gateway, spool. Same will get here also same, right? Same here also we will get the same. If you keep on adding the application server to better performance purpose, then we same one application server will be added. But users, if you are connecting to the direct application server, if this is down, you have the remaining three up, then what is the use of remaining three application server? So that is the reason, if you have to connect through ASCS instance, then here message server will route the request to the remaining application servers as well. So that, so if the one is down, remaining three are available, user still log into that particular application server, still log in, they can do the transaction for the better for the load balancing activity, for the load balancing. If this is down, still this two are up, we can log in. This is also down, then remaining one is active, then users can still log into the SAP system. So that is the purpose of the message server. So when we are going to discuss about the message server, that time this concept will come. Okay, so now we have only one application server. Just assume we are directly connecting to the application server instance only, directly we are connecting to the application server, so that you can keep it in your mind. Okay, so like that, if you want to configure the ASCS also, just click on the create button, connection, then go to the next button. Here instead of application server, you can choose the group server selection. Then in this case you will get the message server details. Then you have to enter the message server and group, and you have to enter. So still we have not gone through the topic. Now we are not reached the topic till the date, so we are in the initial stage, so don't go that topic now. Okay, so that is what, now we can use the only configuring the entries to the particular application server only, right? Here you need to add the entry here, then application server name SAP Windows, where we install the SAP, instance number is 00, and SID is the ECP. Then next, your system is added to the here, then double click it. So then we will open the SAP screen here. SAP screen is opened here. Okay, SAP screen is opened here. So like that, we have the three systems are there here. You can use any one of the system to log in your SAP systems, right? So now let's log into the MWD. Okay, let me log into the MWD here. Someone entered. So we have the default clients as part of the installation. Default users and default clients, we need to log in with the default clients. Default users, we need to log in. The password is same which I pinged in the group. Users, which users we have to use it on the starting procedure. So we have SAP star and DDIC, we have to use it for the SAP login. So initial time only, initially. Why? Because during the installation, few users are created. Those users we have to use it for the login to the SAP system. Okay, why? Because we don't have other users as well initially. So I logged into the DDIC user. Here you can see which user I logged into here. What is the client number here? So what is client means? So client is the one of the business entity. In this client, each client we will have the separate users. We will do the transactions. Okay, so we logged into the SAP. Now what we have to do? How you logged into the SAP system here, right? So when you are logging to the SAP system, now let's start discuss about the work process. We have the work process called the DVEBMGS. So D for dialog work process. Okay, we'll discuss about the dialog work process. So dialog work process is the first work process in the application server level. It will pick up the your user request from the SAP logon pad. So dialog work process is the responsible to check the or pick up the process the your user request. Suppose you see here. So if you double click it, immediately the dialog work process will pick up my request. Dialog work process will pick up request. So if I double click it, dialog work process will pick up my request. It will process the all your work and everything to log into the system. If you are unable to log in means here the work process are not available. Here work process are not available to process your request, to log in your request. See here, here we have the dialog work process. Here we have the dialog work process. So in the dialog work process, you can see here all the requests are all the work process are waiting status, which means so we are discussing about the dialog. So dialog work process will pick up your request. So we have the fire work process. We can increase to the up to 100 or we can increase the work process space. Work process we can increase it, the count. Why? Because it depends upon the load, depends upon the memory. You can increase the so number of dialog work process. We can increase it, right? So we can increase it. By default, we will get the default work process. Later, if you want to increase it, you can increase it. If you keep on increasing, the users will get login more users will log in, more users will log in. Why? Because dialog work process will pick up your user request here. Dialog work process will pick up user request. If you have the 100 dialog work process and your 100 users can log in at a time. If you have the 200 users will log in, 50 users can log in at a time. So dialog work process is the responsible to take your request, process your user request, take your user request and process your user request here. So here, so how to check the my dialog work process status, even all work process status. Why? Because so the status of the work process should be waiting. Why? Because the work process waiting means free. Waiting means free. It will pick up your user request. If it is running means it will not pick up your user request means this work process is allocated to the other user. The other users are working on the system. You need to wait until the work process come to free status. Free means wait status. Okay. So here waiting, running, sleep, stop, error and hold status and prive means private mode. When the work process does not have memory, it will go to the private mode. Hold status means it is hold with it is holding for some reason, some other reasons means waiting for the resources, waiting for the reason, something like error. Work process is in the error status. Stop, so work process stopped. Work process in the sleep mode. Work process is running. Normally work process either wait or running status only. If any issues, then it will go to the different status. Suppose when I am in the meeting, my status is in the meeting. When I am in the free, my status is the available. So when I am in the talking to the other person, my status in the on call. When I am in the when I am in the away, my status is the away. How the status is changing? How my status is changing depends upon my moods, my status, right? Same as like here, the work process also they have the status here. They have the status to update it. So where we see the status and everything here. So here MMC we can see, but not always MMC will not be available for the customers. Why? Because if they have some, they won't prefer sometimes MMC. So you have the MMC, then we can monitor the MMC, not a problem. But where can we check exactly in the SAP system, not in the MMC? So where can we check? So the first transaction to check the work process status and dialog work process related transaction codes are SM50 is the transaction code to check the work process overview. Work process overview. Overview means status. So if you go to the SM50, so SM50, let me log in. Let me log into the here. Or any one of the client, you can, any one of the system, you can use it here. Here, this is the OK code box. This is the OK code box here. Here, you need to enter the transaction code. Transaction code, the first transaction code. Why? Because what is our first work process? Dialog work process. The first transaction code is SM50. If you just click enter SM50, enter it, then you will see the work process status here. The work process status here. How many work process total? 11. In this dialog 5, out of 5, 4 are free. 4 are free, which means here total and free. Total 5. Free 4 means 1 is used. Who is using that work process? It's me only. See here. So I logged into the SAP system. So I am executing the some of the transactions here. So that is the reason you can see one work process. What is the user? What is the client you logged in? What is the program? What is the program? It is executing in the back end. So like that you can see the work process status here. So all are waiting. One work process is running. Who is that work process? It's me only. Why? Because I logged into the system. I am running the some transactions. That's why the work process status is the running status. Remaining all are waiting. Waiting means it's a free. It's a free means so multiple n number of people we can log into the NWD system. N number of people we can log into the n number of sessions. N number of people we can log into the so in SAP systems, n number of people, multiple users, multiple sessions we can initiate it. Why? Because my work process all are free here. All are free. Same status here. You can also see wait. So here also waiting, running. Same status here. So what about the dialog? Here dialogs are 5 and 4 are free. 1 is used here. 1 is means so my work only it is used. So this is a refresh button. You can see here. This is the keep on refreshing. It's a live refresh. Refresh immediately the screen get refreshed here. The screen get refreshed here. So this is the transaction code to check the work process status. This is the transaction code to check the work process status here, especially for the dialog work process status. So why we are checking only dialog? Why? Because dialog work process is the first work process which will pick up your user request and process your user request. That is the reason dialog work process is the first work process we are discussing. Or where it is mentioned the type. Here you can see the type number is equal to number. This is a work process number. Each work process there is a numbering and type DIA. So they have not written like fully, just first 3 letters dialog, update, backTC, spool and update. So like that they have updated here. The ID of the each process ID, status of the each process. It is in hold. What is the reason here? So it's a failure. And what is the CPU? How much CPU time it is taking? So time when it was started, priority, what is the program is executing, who is the user, what is the client. So like that we have all the information here, so you can see here in the SM50 transaction code. Okay, SM50. If you want to go home, we can go to the home page. So here you need to enter the SM50 for the to check the work process status. This is the local work process status. Local means only this particular application server instance number 02 related work process status here. You can check it out here. Sir, in the previous screen, you mentioned, so if we have the multiple application servers, then what is the, how can we check on each and every application server status? If you have the multiple application servers, suppose the example, we have number of application servers here. Then in this case, how can I check the status? If I check the status, I will get only one application server status right here in SM50. If I have the multiple application servers, then in this case, you need to use the one more transaction code that is called the SM66 is for the to check the global work process status, Sir, SM50 is the local, that is fine. What about the global? Global means if you use SM66, entire your SAP system, SA device, how many application servers are there? All application servers related work process related information like DV, BGS, then same here DV, BGS, all the all the work process related information will be work process related status will be updated here. All the work process status will be updated into the here. That is called the global work process overview. Global work process overview here. Okay. So see here. So, sir, do I need to go back again, go back to the home page and enter the transaction code here, SM66? Yes, you can enter this way. You can see the work process status for all the instances, That is why I mentioned as a global. Global means it come if you have the 100 application servers, 100 application server related work process information will be populated here. If you have only one, you can use the SM50. If you have the multiple, you can use the SM66. SM66, you can use it. Sir, you have not went to the home page. You are entering only, you mentioned something like /n SM66, then it went to the another page. Yes, immediately you every time you no need to go to the home page and enter the transaction code. So we have the option in SAP within the you are in the one transaction, one business page here. So you want to go for other business transaction. In this case, if you enter like this, it won't go. It won't go. Why? Because just you enter the transaction code. In this case, you need to in the front you need to add like /n. N means new, which means new business page. You have to open the new business page. If you enter it, then immediately it will jump into the other business transaction. That is called the global. Suppose I want to go for one more again back SM50. If you have to enter it, then it will go to the one more business page. It will go here. One more business page. It will go to here. So here you need to use the /n SM50, which means new transaction code. Sir, I want to same transaction, same business should open. I want one more screen should open here. Then in this case, open, right? You want to open the one more session, open /o SM66. Then in this case, you will get the one more screen is opened. You have already one screen is opened here. In the same screen, you have opened a one more screen here. So two sessions you have opened here. Two sessions you have opened here. See here. So I flipped the screen here. You can see here the other two sessions are opened here. Right? Got it right? So /n is for the new transaction. It will open the new transaction. New transaction code will be opened. /o means new page, new session will be opened. New session will be opened. One more session will be opened here. Okay, got it? So is it okay? Is it clarified? Any questions from anyone here? So regarding the transactions, SM50, SM66 related transactions, work process status, and everything. So suppose what happens if all work process are in the waiting status, then you cannot log in. Why? Because if the work process is free, which work process? Dialog. Dialogs are free, then only you can log into the system. If nothing is, at least one is not free, all are busy, then you cannot log into the SAP system. That's why we will come to the issues here. So users are unable to log into your SAP systems. Users are facing the slowness. Users are unable to log into the SAP system means as a basis administrator, first thing you need to check, users are not able to log in means which work process is responsible to take your user request. So dialog. So we need to check the dialog work process status here, whether the dialogs are free or not. If the dialogs are free, definitely your user request will be picked up. If not free, then you may face the issues. So how can we investigate the issues if the dialog work process is free or not? In SM50 or SM66, you can check the status regarding the dialog work process, right? So is it clear for everyone? two transaction codes we discussed today, that is related to the dialog SM50, SM66. So is it clear for everyone? Any questions
Yes.
from anyone?
Yes, sir. One doubt here.
Yeah.
We are using /o SM50 or whatever the T code. It will go for new dialog work process or with the same dialog work process?
Same only it will pick up it. One dialog process will handle the multiple sessions. So you no need to worry. So it's only one dialog. So initially logging, after the logging, one dialog process is dedicatedly allocated to you. If you open the n number of sessions, that is only one dialog process will be allocated to you.
And one more thing, is there any limitation for this many work process should be there in one system?
Normally, SAP recommended to each per SID means per host means I can say like in the computer language in the per computer. So for this instance you installed in the SAP Windows, right? So 100 dialog work process the limitations 100. Why? Because
Yeah.
it's not simply like one work. So I can go with the 1,000 means you can go for 1,000, but here each work process will block the some memory, some RAM memory. If you are increasing the 1,000 means you should have some pre-memory, right, at operating system level. Without checking that one, keep on increasing, entire your system will go die. So when you are increasing, you need to check the how much memory we have, how much is currently utilized. If I go to the task manager here, so currently we have 19 GB. So 19 GB RAM memory out of 15 GB is already used. Only 4.2 GB is available. 4.2 GB means each work process will eat the will consume the will block the certain amount of memory here. So what is that memory? It depends. Not that depends like it's like 600 MB, 500 MB, like that it will consume it. So like that 150 MB sometimes. So depends upon the use case. Okay. So but it will block the some amount here.
Altogether 100, right? So
Yeah, sorry.
all work process together 100 should be the maximum.
Not each work process. Dialogues are 100, PTC are 100. So maybe so updates is not required more. So only dialogues and BTs are more. Remaining one is enough. Why? Because their usage is normal. Update and BTC is full. Only dialogues are BTCs are usage is more. Why? Because so that is the reason we will concentrate only on the dialogue and BTC. Remaining one or two enough. Why more? If more are there, they will sit idly, right? In the classroom, or if you so there is a one work. So you took the one work, one task you have to complete it. The task is required. The four employees should finish the task in the one day, right? So the task is enough. One task, four employees. If you put 10 employees for one task, remaining six people will sit idly in the team, right? What is the use of them? They will sit idly in the team. They will not do. Only that four people can work here. Why? Because there is no much task here. So that is the reason. So we should calculate it. So if you are the really work is there, if you increase it the 10 people, then if you increase the manpower 10 people, then definitely they will coordinate and they will so work it on it. They will work on it. So that is the reason. So you need to carefully plan the things here. When you are increasing the work process, blindly don't increase it. So how many users are logging per day? We have the statistics. So maybe users will report it. I am unable to log in. There is some lack of batch work process, lack of dialog work process. They are unable to log into the system. They will report it. Based on that, you have to plan to increase the dialog work process. While increasing, you need to check. So memory and CPU, you need to check it out. Why? Because if you are allowing one person inside of your home means we should have enough bandwidth to feed the food and give the some food and so some water, right? So without that one, how you are allowing to inside of that person to come and sit in my home and stay in my home, right? Same thing we will see, right, in our real case as well. Same as like here, we built the one SAP system, Basically, our main goal is only at a time 10 people log in. That is the reason. So we increased the 10 dialog work process. We increased it. We done. That is done. Later, hundreds of users are logging. Then we can increase the hundreds of dialog work process. We can increase it. Fine. Why? Because you have the requirement. You can increase it. You have the RAM. You can increase it. Then we can survey the system for the business. So that is our work. Increase in the work process, decrease in the work process, analysis, assessments. This is all work we have to do it. So how to increase means slowly we can increase it. We have the concepts, same concept, how to increase the process. For now, you can remember. So dialog work process is responsible to take the your request and process the your user request. Okay. And also, if you open the one session, only one work process will be per user. Only one work process will be allocated. So that if you open the n number of sessions, so that will not create the n number of dialog work process. It is only one. So that is the dialog work process related transaction code. So what next we have? So I think, is it clear, right? So dialog work process related transaction codes SM50, SM66. So what things we have to check here? Dialog work process are the most important work process. Why? Because you are logging into the system means here one dialog work process is allocated per user. Per person, per user, one dialog work process is allocating. So you can log into the system, then you can do your work here. For now, as a basis team, we are using the basis transaction code. Security also they say will similar way they will log in, they will do the security related work. Functional, developers. So anything like that, they will log in, they will do the work here. Okay. So apart from that dialog work process, we have other transaction codes as well. Other transaction codes also. So as soon as your installation is completed, first time when you log into the system, we have to check the one transaction code, SIC or SM28, both are same, to check the system consistency check. So which means consistency check whether your system is successfully installed or there any errors. This is the first transaction code. If you see here, if I go to the SIC, it will throw the error like your system is successfully installed or not. So no errors are reported for day. So then that is fine. If you go to the SM28, that is also will throw the same. So both are same transaction codes. So SICK or SM28 for the consistency check, system consistency check here, right? So the next transaction code is for, so just check only. This is part of the daily monitoring to check. Why? Because if you face any errors here, anywhere it will display, then you need to fix before the business starts. We need to fix the errors here. So we checked the SM28, there are no errors. Then you need to check the another transaction code SM50. Check, are there any we have the free work process? Yes, we have the free work process. Then no issues with this system, right? Then we have to go to the SM66 global. So global level also we have the work process free, all are free. So run is running, that is fine. Okay. So like that, every day you need to log into the system. You need to check the system behavior and everything here. And also one more transaction codes here. So one more transaction code SM50 we discussed, SM66 we discussed. Then one more transaction code is called the ST22 to check the above dumps or above runtime dumps or runtime errors. So in the system, as part of your daily monitoring, if you execute the ST22 transaction code, so you will see the are there any errors are reported in the last 24 hours. Today, no errors are no timestamp. But yesterday we have the 5 runtime errors. What is this runtime errors? We click it, it will throw the runtime errors here. Runtime errors here. These are the runtime errors. See, so what is this runtime error? When it got occurred, what is the user and from which client? What is the error message here? So when this runtime errors occurred here in your system, if there are any programs error, syntax error, timeout error, space issue, time errors, and some illegal format error, uncaught exception, something like any error, any dump, it will throw the dumps errors, runtime errors in the ST22. We have to check it out. Why? Because system will not tell us. Why? Because we need to check in the system. System will not tell like, I basically we have the error, something like that. So we have to manually log in every day as part of the day-to-day task. As a basis day-to-day task, we need to check the transaction code and whether are there any dumps are occurring or not. Okay, sir. Then dumps are there. Then how can I investigate this dump here? So open the dump here. Just double click it. It will open the dump here. It will give the information, right? So we have the some installation error. Yes, it's true. Why? Because so it will, you can see by reading this one, you can understand the what is this exact error message, right? Short text, the large time difference between application server and a database, right? So we have the one time difference in the application server, and same in the database level also we have a different time. Actually both the times should match it here. Application is running on the one time zone, database is running on the different time zone, which is not acceptable, right? That is the reason we got this error in the system. So what happened? SAP system regularly check the clocks in the database server, application server. While doing this one, it is detected, right? It will check. It is checking actually. System is regularly comparing. Regularly, it will check the times of the SAP and DB. So both are not matching in our case. Both are not matching. So that is the reason the dump is occurred. But it should shout, right? It is not shouted, but it's shouted as a one dump in the ST22. So if you have some issues in your body, you will inform to your doctor, right? You will inform to doctor saying that doctor, I have some issue in my body, so please give some medicines, some precautions. So what doctor will do? Doctor will review your doctor will diagnose your health problem, your health, and he will check thoroughly and he will give the proper medicines to control that one. Same, we are the doctors in SAP basis, right? So here we have to check it out here. This is the system will not shout us, right? So we have to go here. We need to check, are there any critical errors here? Yes, there is a large number of dumps here. So what is this dump here? Saying that the time differences. Then what can I do here? You need to check you need to contact the SAP administrator, means we are. So what we have to contact? So we need to correct the time difference. So you can see error analysis. So the time difference database application server and seconds and the local time zone is U2C. T2 is not set, correctly not set it out. So local time is, this is the 20 and this is the time difference is there. So you need to maintain the consistency. How to correct the error? You can see the local clock might have set incorrectly. Application server database might be in a different time zone. Either you need to match the DB time zone to here, or SAP time zone to database level. We should match it. Then restart the system. So like that, we can see that the dump is occurred here. So which user, client, which user, this one, what is the language, where it is occurred, what is the job. So all the information is available in the system here. Left side tree, which system, which user, what happened. So where can I do, how to correct the error. So all the information to correct the error, all the information got error here. So by seeing the dump, we have to fix the errors, right? This is part of our basis work only. If you don't check, what happens? What happens? Nothing will happen. SAP will be down, right? Nothing will happen. So you will get the monthly salary, that is fine. But customer he hired you as a basis consultant. You need to check. So he recruited you to check the system behaviors, to monitor the systems, fix are there any errors in the system or not. That is your, as a basis consultant, your regular duty, right? So you have dumps are occurred. If you ignore it, what will happen? Nothing will happen. But only thing is, system will face some issues here. Why? Because the dumps fine now. After some time, it will occur the one more errors. Then one user one user trying to do some payments, there is an incorrect clock. So incorrect clock is set in the SAP level. Immediately, his payment is overdue or something. He has to do some fine activities. Why? Because due to some incorrect timelines are set here. That is the reason end users may face some issues here. So we have to detect the issues. We need to fix the issues in advance. We need to fix this type of issues. So not only here we got the not only time zone related issues. Sometimes we may face the program errors. One of the program got error due to some logic is missing in the program. That is developers can do. We have to inform to the developers. Syntax errors, developers, program errors, developers. So some errors we have to fix it. Some error we need to inform to the developers, functional team, and we have to fix it. If you are unable to fix the issue from your side also, then what you have to do? We have to collect the evidence. We have to inform to the our SAP team. So we have the any leads are there in your team. You have to inform to the seniors. The seniors also don't know. Then directly you need to check with your vendor team. Your vendor means who provided these softwares. We have to inform to them. That is the thing we have to do that one. Okay, this is the ST22 and ST22 analysis like this we have to do. Okay, so I'm pausing here. Why? Because today we discussed 4 transaction codes. So it's very simple transaction codes, but initially you need to practice it, right? That's why I'm pausing here. So in the last 15 minutes, we will place for our questions and answers. Any questions from anyone?
There is time gap between DB and application
Yes,
consisting, right?
yes.
This dump will occur whenever there is login occurred, or like what?
So you already logged into the system, okay? Or so you are not logged into the system, some other system. When both the systems are online, this dump will occur. It's not for user. System will throw the dumps. If it is the user, definitely there is a username is mentioned here. Username is mentioned here. If it is the user, it will throw like username here. So this is SAP. This is the system internal user and 000 client. So its system generated these DOMs. System is generated. If the user, then my name will be generated. Then I need to check with this user. So why this dumper? What you are trying to do in the system? Like that, I will check with that user. So it's a system generated dump. So we have to fix it. So you can see what happened. Large time differences. So what is the time here? So you can see here in the SAP level, if you go to the system status, you will see the dump here. Timelines, it may be timeline, system time 9:47 now. What is the DB timelines here? Date, can mention the line. So 9:47, both are matching. Then where is the issue now? That is the reason, right? Today there are no dumps. Why? Because yesterday we had some issues with the time zone. That is the reason yesterday we had issues occurred. The today also the still issue is there. It will throw a lot of dumps here. It will throw the a lot of dumps. Today, till now there is no dumps here, 0 dumps, which means no issues today. Okay, so this is the. So user wise, we will face the dumps. System wise also we will face the dumps.
What can we
How
do
can
for
we change time?
So here, you know, right? Windows, you can change the clocks, change
Not
the
in
time.
in SAP system.
In SAP, if you change in the Windows, why? Because SAP is installed here, right? SAP is installed in this operating system. If you change this operating system, if you change it, then automatically it will SAP will be affected. Because SAP, while starting the SAP, it will read your operating system settings and everything, right? So why? Because you install SAP on top of operating system. So if you correct your operating system time zone, automatically SAP itself, it will correct it. It will read your application server time zone. It will reflect. In
So
SAP
you
level,
mentioned the transaction code.
yes,
You
transaction.
mentioned transaction code for SM50 and ST22. What
Yes.
does it mean by SM and ST?
Okay. So there is no special naming convention for the ST. What is ST? And why we don't have the any serial number for the SAP transaction code? Previously you mentioned like SM50, then you mentioned like SM66, then you mentioned like ST22. So there is no special. S means SAP, M means maintenance, T means so tuning related transaction code like that we have. But so it's like that, but there is no order for the transport. Depends upon the topic, it will come the transaction codes. There is no serial wise transaction codes. So it will, there is no nothing, there is no full form for the, so that is SM, ST, something like that. So you need to remember all these transaction codes and everything. So suppose tomorrow your manager will ask you, can you check the above dumps in the system? How many are there? And can you fix it? Then you need to go to the ST22, you need to check the dumps and everything here. If you ask question, sir, what is the transaction code means, immediately he will fire you. Why? Because you are the basis consultant, you should know, right? Even fresher also should know the transaction codes. So transaction code is for shortcut to the business application. When you enter the one transaction code, one page will be opened. ST22.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, how many user requests can be handled by a single dialog work process?
So one work process, how many users related requests?
Yes.
So n number of like until you log in, you log off, one dedicated work process allocated to the your user. That's it. In between your login, after the logout, so in between whatever you are doing something, you are doing session, multiple sessions you opened means, so that work process will help you to finish your complete transactions and everything. So there is no limitation. But so one work process will handle the, so one work process will handle the 5 to 10 users, one work process. So based on that, so we can plan it. But after login, you logged into the SAP system, you got the home page, then there is no limitation. From morning 7 to evening 9, whatever you want to do in SAP system, you can do. So there is no limitation, there is no time limit as well. But if your system is idle for 1 hour, your session will be logged out. Again, you need to re-log in, need to do. But you're continuously working in the system, checking the system, there is no limitations.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more thing. For how much time a dialog work process can handle a user request?
Time means if you are continuously working, there is no limitation, right? Continuously very working, there is no limit. But you just keep the system idle. Now you are not working, you went for the break, 15 minutes completed, 20 minutes completed. As per the timelines, immediately your session will be disconnected. Timeout will occur here. Normally we see that in the banking sites, when you log into any one of the banking sites, so you will open the transaction, then you went away, then immediately you will get like your session is inactive. So again, you have to re-log in, something like that. Same as like here also you may face it. Depends upon the settings. Sir, where can I show the settings? The settings will come. Why? Because we have the topics left in the front. So we need to, we have the topics left after that. So those topics we'll discuss.
Okay.
Can you list out dumps which can be managed by basis team, like timeout and all?
Yeah, normally few are basis related, few are developers, few are functional. So depends upon the here, depends upon the users, the component we can list out. Yes, it's possible. It's possible to get here. So timeout means we can manage it here, right? But some DBSQL we can manage. Why? Because we are the database. Some settings we can manage it. But foreground related, who is the foregrounders? Developers, right? Developer can only fix it. Some syntax means so code correction in the foreground, they can only handle it. Some memory issues means as a basis consultant we need to check the memory. So it's related basis. Though depends upon the type of dump, we have to act accordingly. Our job is like middleman job. Like sometimes our middleman job, not entire middleman job. Sometimes you are day to day, you are checking the SAP system. You got the hundreds of dumps here. Those dumps are related to the one user, Ravi user. Then you need to inform to the Ravi, hi Ravi, what you are doing in the system. You see hundreds of dumps in the system. Please correct it. Then he will correct the dumps. The user, if the user is logging doing means we cannot ask user, right? Then we have to correct it. We have to check the dump related to the program error, syntax error, or functional error. Who is that? So you is the user here. So that user we can find out here, then we can inform to them.
And can you explain like how many users are logged in particular day, like Sunday, Monday, like previous day?
Yeah, we can check it out. Yeah, still the topic is not covered. I will explain it. If I explain it now, here we have some basics are there. Some few freshers are there and new people are there who don't know about the SAP. That's why I'm not going to the next topics. Yesterday they have raised the concerns saying that, so you are going to explain, you are deviating the topic, you are explaining other transaction codes as well. So that's why I'm not going to deviate the topic. Only these 5 transaction codes, you can ask any doubts on the only on the this 5 transaction codes. Whatever.
Can you explain about private mode somewhat briefly? Why it goes into private mode? If it is private mode, what we should have to do?
So again, it's a memory management related topic. Okay. I will explain it end of the topic. So in end of the class, I will explain for you. No problem.
Yeah,
any question?
We are having some status like a private on hold like that will be
yes.
Right?
Yes.
We can be discussed in further sessions.
Yeah, we have actually exactly related. So we have the private mode. There is a work process will go to the private mode. So when the work process go to private mode means when the work process does not have the enough memory, that time it will go to the private mode. Means operating system memory. It will start using the OS memory. We cannot control. So there is a SAP memory management. There is a separate topic actually. In this transaction code, so we will discuss about the memory areas. So that time, so the private memory will come here. Anyhow, we discussed about the status of the work process, right? When the work process goes to private mode means when does not have the enough. So work process, there is a memory allocation. So like role memory, extended memory, then heap memory. When this all memory areas are over, when the work process go to heap like OS level memory, then work process go to private memory. As I told initial, each work process will block the certain amount of memory. So that food is how the food and water is important for the humans. For us, food and water is very important. If you have food, you are healthy. If you don't have food in one day, what will happen? We'll go to the sick status. Sick. Same as like here, we keep on eating, then so we will become a fat, right? Same as like here, work process also sometimes work process will use the lot of memory. It will take the memory food from others and it will use it. Then if keep on using, other work process does not have enough memory, system will be slow, and this work process only one work process using the lot of memory, which means sometimes system will go hung status, system will go response status. So that we have to immediately identify which work process is going to the private mode. Then we have to ask user to log off, or we need to cancel it, or we have to inform, hi boss, this user, you are using a lot of memory, something not sure what you are executing in the system, so your work process went to the private mode. So which means it's a dangerous mode. Private mode means dangerous mode. So you have to leave the system or you have to so log you off and log in again, something like that we have to suggest from our side. So when the work process go to private mode, how can we control it? So which means I will explain it, so not now. In the time of the memory management, we have the topic, that time I will explain it. So any questions on these two SM50, SM66, ST22, SICK transaction codes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Sir, in SM50, 5 dialogues are running, sir. 5 dialogue
Yes.
users are running, sir.
Yes.
If we add one more user, then what will you do, sir?
All are running. One more user, you will be in the waiting status. Waiting means your screen is trying to connect something like that only. You will not get this screen now. You will not get the logon screen now until the one user is log out. Again, next you will be the work process will become free. Then you will get the SAP screen. So which means suppose ECP all the work process are free. Suppose like I will make it now all the work process busy now. There is a one. I will run the one program. I will make it one all the work process busy now. What exactly happens now? We'll see. Okay. So what I will do, I am running the SGen. So SGen means load generator. I will explain it tomorrow. What is this? Okay. So we will get the work process related transaction code. In between, we will get the other transactions as well. Okay. Now let's see. I will do all work process are running status now. Now this will come, don't worry. So I'm going to a different screen to explain this scenario. See here. So out of free, one is free. So one is free, one is waiting status. One means we can log in. NWD we can log in now. Okay, I can log in with one user. Then I will do the one transaction. I want to, the main idea is continue with this icon. So, and I want to check the SMLD, something like that. Okay. Again, if I try to log in, I will get login because one work process is free. If something is executing, if all are busy, then you won't get this screen. The main bottom line is, if all are busy, you won't get the SAP logon screen. You won't get the SAP logon screen. You won't get the SAP logon screen. It will be slow. It will keep on connecting, something like that. But here, so our work process is free. It's keep on taking the load, keep on taking the users and everything. So minimum 1 or 2 work process should be free in the system to log into your SAP screen. See here, keep on. So keep on, it's asking to login screen. So multiple times we can log in. So we can log in now. Multiple times we can log in and we can execute our transaction. System can survey. Why? Because system is very fast now. We can survey it. So you won't get this screen. If all are free, nothing is, so all are running status. No free. Free means no free means it will not take user request. It will not take user request. It will not take user request. So that is the main aim. Means you will not get the SAP logon screen. So if you are not getting the SAP logon screen means we need to check why the dialog work process are already full occupied. Are there any work it is doing? So we need to check. So where to check? To the dialog work process status, go to the SM50. Then here you will see the work process status here. See here. So here out of 5, 1 is free. Remaining 4 are already utilizing. 1 is free. So this free work process is there. Keep on executing. See here. BTC also 1, 2 are free. So yeah, like that. See here is on hold. On hold means it is waiting for the response from this program. It's waiting for the finish this program. Currently this program I started in the back end. So one BTC program. Initiated the multiple programs and it's all are running status and it is on hold, waiting for the others to complete it. On hold. You are in the hold. Suppose you called me that time, so one more got called, I put on hold and I have to finish other call and I will come to you and I will speak to you, right? On hold, simple example. So basically the bottom line, you will not get the SAP screen, you will not log into the SAP system, you will not log into the SAP system to open this one. So it has to finish it, you will not get something like that, loading, you will not get SAP screen. That is the main thing here. So please practice the only this terms. Don't go all at a time. So practice day by day whatever we are discussing. Only practice those things. Only can practice it. Just execute the transaction codes. See the screen what is coming. Then go to the next transaction code. Check the dump what is there. So like that. Why? Because it's a basis responsibility to check. Anyone? Any other questions?
No.
Sir,
Yes, Shiva.
sir, how to identify which T code currently we are using, sir? Basically,
Okay.
some person is using the T code SM50, and how we know, sir, where we are in exactly path?
Yeah. Tomorrow it will come. Why? Because we need to discuss the users, right? So some
Yes.
how many users are logged in, what they are doing, and what transaction codes they are executing, in which time they have logged into the system. So all these things, so it will come day to day, day by day, the new transactions will come. So right. So you asked me this question. For safer side, I am telling like if you go to the SM04 is the transaction code, it will give the information what exactly the user is doing here. You can see all users are logged into this 000 client. These all are the users. So what is the host name? What is the application? There's someone using the SM04. Who is that guy? I am only one using. So this person is using the initial screen. This person is using the HTML transaction code. This person is logging to the GUI, SAP GUI. These all are the RFC users. They are logged into the systems. This is the GUI users. So like that, we can when they have started, what is the memory they are using it. So like that, when this session started, all are logged into the today only. All are logged into the today only. You can see it. I told you right.
We can check from down also, right? For the virtual host is there, right? From there also we can check, right, where we are current.
Yes. You can also check. Maybe if you want to log off that user forcefully, what you have to do, just select that one session, go to the session what he is using, something he is using, select that session, delete. Then see here my session, I only deleted. See here, I forcefully logged out from the system.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but real time, if you forcefully log out the other users, they will complain it, they will escalate it. So when you are doing the forcefully log out the system, inform to your lead or management as a process active. Once you approve, then do. Why? Because if you forcefully log out, so he is doing some transaction, the transaction is updating the some company financial report is updating into the SAP system. You forcefully log out, whatever the is not saved, everything will be gone. Again, he has to re-enter it. Again, 2-3 hours of work. We can, our Indians, we can okay, but the non-Indians, they will immediately escalate to the your manager. The manager will ask you questions. Without approval, why you forcefully killed that user session? Then you have to answer, right? That is the reason. So when you are doing this anything in the system, you have to take the approval and you need to kill it out. That is the process wise we need to follow. So practice it, configure the entries here, practice it. So I think all are must excited to know more on the user side, memory, kick off the users and everything. So don't worry, we will get it out everything. So we will get everything in these sessions. So don't worry. But be patient.
For example, I forgot the transaction code. Is it possible to type manually in some other place?
Where you forgot to enter the transaction code?
I don't know what the transaction. For example, ST22. Oh, that is the dump purpose. But I don't know that ST22.
You
Is
have
it possible
books, right?
to dump?
Yeah, you have to no, nothing. That's only SAP is the transaction code based, which means you have to enter the transaction code, then only you will get the screen. Otherwise, so you won't get the screen here. Suppose the example. So here I don't know dumps. If I type dumps, will it come? No. See here, the transaction is not exist. So you need exact transaction code in news or in some book or some note paper. You have to note it down. ST22 for the dumps. Basically, you have to by head the transaction code. That is the basically how we by head A for apple, B for ball. Same thing like that. You have to by head. How we know initially A, B, C, D, something like that. We don't know, right? So same thing we by headed. Same thing here also we have to by head. There is no logic here.
Okay.
Suppose like if you forgot it in the Google, we can type it. Suppose like if you type in Google ABAP dumps, what is the transaction code? If you type it, Google will tell you, or AI code, AI will tell you the artificial intelligence also will tell you the what is that, right? See here, if I type to Google, I got the ST22. What is this transaction code? The ABAP dump generated in the system. So see here, same thing here. Whatever we are discussing, same thing here, ABAP dumps. We have the transaction codes, everything. We have the transaction codes list of transaction codes are available. I will share the details, don't worry. Okay, so if anything, just can call me.